Welcome.
Yo.
Welcome, y'all. We back. We apologize for a little bit of lateness, you know what I mean? But this is the Rap Roundtable. We here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You know what I mean? Come in, wipe your feet, shake our hands, do everything you got to do. You know what I'm saying? This is the
Salute.
Rap Roundtable. You can follow us on Twitter, on X, on IG. You know what I mean? Hopefully, if you're here for YouTube, you already subscribed. You know what I mean? Roundtablemerch.com. That also has that merch. Also has all of the socials if you want to get on there. You know what I
Talk
mean?
about it.
But it feels good to be back, yo. What's up, man? What's going on?
Tito's in the
You know what I mean?
building. Happy to have you back, good
Absolutely.
brother.
Absolutely. Jaws and Sin, you know what I
On the
mean?
way.
You know, we busy fellows, you know what I mean? They on the way, you know, we're gonna hear their music, you know, arriving shortly, you know what I mean? So
You
don't worry about
dig?
it. But you got me and Danny for now, man. What's going on, Danny? What's happening, bro?
Man, it's been a hectic weekend, man. We was all the way out in the far ends of Narcy, you know what I'm saying? For all those niggas who be in Brooklyn, they know the vibe. Shout out to all the New Yorkers. Hectic weekend, a lot of family shit, a lot of love going on in the air, a lot of beautiful things. As you know, my good brother, you got a lot of beautiful shit happening with you also. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a great vibes. I'm the chat is looking a little buzzing. Shout out to
The chat
Gary.
buzzing, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Show some love,
I'm
y'all.
seeing shit ringing off.
Yo,
Firebird, my geyser.
speaking of the chat, I appreciate y'all. I'm doing okay. Just some family business I had to attend to. You know what I mean? We might not make that announcement later. You know how I go, y'all. You know, we a little private sometimes there, but I am good. I appreciate all of y'all that was showing love in the chat, in the DMs of my socials, in the comments of the vids. I appreciate y'all for that. But we back. We back in tune. I ain't going nowhere, man. What's going on?
We here.
But I see D Rick in the house. You know what I mean? Touch 182.
Facts.
Leo, Busy B, Firebird. It's a bunch of legends in here, man. What's going on?
That's a fact, man. Good people. Adriel, peace.
Send snuck
Since is in the
into the
building,
crowd, man. What's
three
going on?
quarters of the order. We missing the piece. But let's go and
Yeah, what
join
up,
up.
what up, what up, what up?
Talk to the people, Sin.
I'm chilling, man. New crib, trying to figure out the connections in here. You know what I mean?
Digs.
Might have to call Spectrum and tell them they shit fucking up a little bit. You know what I mean? But I'm in here.
They
My
can't
little
stop
awkward
you, Sin.
corner over here because we ain't fully set up in the new crib. So
Send a little choppy right now, just to let y'all know we don't name Monday live episodes, but if this has an episode title, it might be technical difficulties. We've
You
having
know what I'm
some
saying?
trouble,
We
y'all.
work
You know
we
what I mean?
work
We're
in a
trying to
new
get it together.
situation here. Shout out to all of y'all. Leo, we there. Yeah, man. We outside. Or we inside, but we outside. You know the vibes. We gonna talk about it, Fire, bro. We gonna talk about it. We just letting the energy build. Go weekend, Sin. Go weekend.
Dean, show some love to the chat real quick. I'm having my difficulties, so
Absolutely. They coming through. Dre, what up? We got Dre and Andre. We Dre'd out.
damn, I can't. Fuck, I can't even look
Curtis
at the chat.
Bleezy. What up, my guy? Good
The other
people in the
guy?
chat.
Yo,
Yeah, you look like you in good
what
motion.
up, fellas? Real quick, I'm not really here yet, but y'all could definitely get into that. Did anybody lock in with that big hit situation with Sun on Production and Alchemist, Alan the Chemist?
I did.
Y'all can lock in with that. I'm taking care of some business here. I'll be able to join in a minute, but let's get the ball rolling with that. So people been waiting on us. Let's give them what they need.
That's a fact. All right, let's chop into this big hit. This was produced by Alchemist and Young Hit. You know what I'm saying? Hit Boy. The album was called Black and Whites. Like, Sin, did you get to spin it?
I spun it a couple times. You know what I mean?
Mace?
Always good to hear Hit Boy and
a
Alchemist
little
on
bit.
production. You know what I mean?
Spun a
How y'all
little bit
feel
of
about
it.
it?
Now I ain't get the whole joint, but definitely spun what needed to be spun.
From the gist you got of it, Mace, what did you think about it?
I want to hear y'all actually first. Let me hear what y'all have to say first. I don't want to start off seeming like the spoil sport.
No, I actually liked it, man. And for the first 4 tracks, that'll be Drugs Are, Only Way That I Feel, Godfather Part 2 of Boldy James and Heartless. I was like, whoa. Oh, I might have to add Big Hit to the niggas I don't mind listening to over 50. I didn't think I was gonna feel that way. But I was like, yeah, 52 sounded extremely hungry. It was the hunger on those first tracks that really like brought me in. Great music. Shout out to Big Hit for just like putting this shit together like that. Shout out to Al, shout out to Hit Boy. I thought Foreclosure was cool. Beat Switch, I did like the beat switch, but I thought it was cool. Temperature Check, track 6, cool. Black and White's title track, fire. More of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot more of that. Champions, track 8 was cool. Count on Your Blessings. I like Count on Your Blessings. I thought that was a record I could fuck with. Sly, Slick, and Wicked with C3. B is dope. I wasn't really a big fan of the record though. Dirtball, I really like the record Dirtball. Shout out to him, and it's a family act with Hit Girl Helena on Gank Move, track 12. Shout out to them. I like the fact that it's a family motion with them. Everybody seems connected. Like it's really like a story in heaven. You get what I'm saying? Father incarcerated, comes home, son's already established, locks the father in immediately. Father gets in the bars. He's hungry. He did Tom. He got a lot of shit to say. And the energy, the magic, the synergy. You get two of the heaviest hitting producers out right now, and all time you add out. I mean, you really can't lose. There was a couple of tracks I felt like, you know what? They needed to reinvigorate him the way he was on the first 4 tracks. There was a fire under him those first 4 tracks. You know, I just feel like it died off. It came down a little bit. But I don't. Do I expect Big Hit to be the nicest nigga like rapping? I don't. I just need a nigga to be who he is and give me those bars. You know what I'm saying? This is light years before. This is light years after I bang for. I bang. You know what I'm saying? Like I bang track. I thought,
So you saying he been working on the
bars, bro? Like
he's okay.
The skill has definitely increased since that time, and I'm here for it, bro. Like I feel like hip hop is the only genre where you can say somebody started at 50. We don't ask what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like this.
We used to. We stopped. We just stopped.
Like 50. Like, come on, bro. If you got skill, you got talent. I'd rather an older nigga who got skill and talent take the attempt than a young nigga who's a bozo try just because he's a young nigga. But I digress. What do y'all niggas got to say about the album, my guys?
All right, ringing endorsement from Dean. What how you feel, Sin?
I don't know if I feel quite as strongly as Deanie does, but it was a good project. It was you know what I mean? It was all right. Some of my favorites. I think like later on in the project, like the second half, I think is where it really hit its stride, because I know Dean mentioned a couple tracks off the top, but I think when it got into like Champion, Count Your Blessings, like that area of the project, like, you know what I mean, they was working with something for sure. Right. You know what I mean? It's just such a great story, you know what I mean, for hit Big Hit, Hit Boy's pops to be incarcerated for so long and to come out and, you know what I mean, to make music with his kid, and now Alchemist is in the fold too. Like it's just a good story all around, man. I can't be too mad at it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna spend this on the regular. It was a good project. It was you know what I mean? Like, again, like Deanie said, like, Big Hit's not the most lyrically dexterous, but he got the job done. He did his thing. He sounded like he'd been working on his craft a little something. And that's the most I could ask out of this Big Hit project, man.
Right.
For real.
Again, just a great story all around. I can't be too mad at it. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you fellas takes on it. Me personally, I think you look at it like Dean said, like y'all both kind of said, like you cannot go wrong with Alchemist and Hit Boy production. You know what I mean? Like you can't like, if it was just an instrumental album, it would be dope. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I agree with you, Dean. Big Hit, he's gotten a little better. He has, for sure. But I wasn't really impressed by the project overall. I like Theodore and Andre better. I like the joint that Big Hit and The Game dropped earlier this year. So if we rounding up all of the Hit Boy projects or all of the Alchemist projects this year, I feel like this is probably the weakest one. You know what I mean? It's like you say, it's definitely a passion project, and you don't want to come in and be super critical of something that I could imagine they wanted to do their entire lives, this whole journey that they've been going on. So it's like, just like y'all say, I love the story behind it all. You know, I love the lore behind it. You know what I mean? I can't imagine what, you know, I believe Hit has kids, right? So imagine what the grandbaby gonna feel like hearing Pops and Granddad on an album together one day.
He's in
That's
the
dope. You know what I
videos.
mean?
Lil Man's in
I
the
can't get
videos with
mad.
him.
Yeah.
It's really fire to see, bro.
So I can't get mad at that. But if I'm just with my critical ear, you know, Sin mentioned, it's not gonna be something I spend a lot, to be honest with you. It's better served as a first time listen to me. Big hits like bars, like the first time you hear him, you could be like, oh, you know what I mean? It's not, you know
They
what I mean?
sneak
He
up
better
on
than
you.
I thought.
They snuck
But
up on me.
once
I can't
you
hold you.
right, but he got those kind of bars that once you have a critical ear and you spin back over and over, that's when you could kind of be like, that wasn't the best part. This wasn't that. So I do kind of appreciate, you know, as maybe like a museum type of piece. You know what I mean? It's just dope to have this type of shit in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
you know, I don't think I endorse it as much as you, Dean. I'm probably a little closer with Sin feels, but you know what I mean? Alchemist and Hit Boy, give me more beats, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For
I'll
real.
take it at the end of the day. So, you
Like
know, that's how I felt about this
low
shit.
key, I was listening to it like, yo, like, where was Benny when all this was happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this could have been like, that could have been the Benny album. No disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But that could have been the Benny album,
Hey,
like shipped, and we would have had a whole
good
different
point.
discussion. You know, but yeah, shout out to them boys for working, man. I appreciate the hunger and the effort.
Yo, G, soon come. I see the comment, G. Me and y'all gonna be cooking up. You know, life get a little busy, but we gonna cook up soon.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I
it.
Jeez,
mean,
what up?
the last half hour y'all has been real crazy, but that big hit album. I don't know if y'all touched on it because I'm also on a Zoom call right now, so I'm
We
juggling
did
back and forth, but I didn't want to miss out on the big hit takes.
just close it out, but you jump in.
My first situation is how did once again Benny not get any of these beats for this project?
Yo,
Let's
Facts.
did anybody say that? I don't know if anybody said that.
Dini said it.
Okay, because
salute,
Baby tapped
Jarvis.
it.
I got to make my little commute to work, and my commute can range anywhere from an hour and change to 2 hours, depending on the traffic. So I locked in with this project on Friday, driving into work, and I want to say the Sonics are there. I'll also give some credit to Big Hit. Big Hit has improved as a rapper. He's in a weird spot for me, and let me know if y'all think I'm tripping. It seems like he's somewhere between old school nigga sometimes. Sometimes like it'll be like a 3 to 4 ball pocket where he sound like he modern, like his pocket, the rhyming is there. Sometimes if I'm listening, I'm saying he kind of reminds me of Nip a little bit. And then it'll be like right after that, it'll be another 4 bars where he sound like a '90s rapper, and it's like it's really weird. I don't know if y'all had that same experience, but it seems like he's trying to find his way in this modern
Yeah,
time while trying to shake old habits. Did y'all hear that as well?
didn't mention it, but yeah, that is a great point.
Yeah,
You know
a little something.
Definitely hear that.
There was definitely some points where, like, I felt like he was trying to be in a different pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could, you know what I mean? I could appreciate the effort in terms of that, not just like, you know what I mean, hitting the same flow every time,
Right.
maybe. So, you know what I mean? Again, we're not gonna act like Big Hit is like the most lyrically gifted, you know, rapper out here, but like the fact that he's you can tell he's working on a craft. You know what I mean? You can tell that like he is taking this seriously, and that's the
Right.
one thing that I can appreciate about it is that, you know what I mean? Like he could just come home and be like, yo, just I'm gonna just do whatever on these tracks, and you know, just give me the beats, and now, you know, I'll fucking do whatever on them. But the fact that he's actually, it feels like he's working towards something. It feels like he's respecting what he has with his son. You know what I mean? And that, you know, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm a sucker for, you know, family togetherness and all that. Like, you know, it's a great story.
What I will say is this though, all like the older head artists that we always say like had it back in the days. Maybe getting next to Hit Boy might be the thing. You know what I'm saying? Nas rejuvenated, got hits. Boy, I got Big Hit sounding alright. You know, maybe that's the thing to do. Maybe all the older heads got to see Hit and get their grind back. You know what I'm saying?
My
Does
bad, y'all,
anybody
with the noise. Like I said, I'm on the Zoom call right now, but I think he's not wasting the beats, but I sure would love it if somebody else got on him. Like if he had more company on those beats. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's putting the work in, and he's working at a high clip since he's come home. But like case in point with The Godfather Part 2, just having a Boldy next to him to share that weight. I think it's a lot more feasible than him trying to carry this project. Because I was under the belief, and maybe I'm wrong for believing that, but I was under the belief that it was going to be Al, Hit Boy, and Big Hit all rhyming on the project. I think we were about halfway through the project before we got our first rapping appearance of the producers.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, it's like I would like to hear more, because while Big Hit is good and Hit, shout out to Hit Boy for doing what he needs to do to give Pops in position to make the most of his life since he's come home. At the same time, I don't think he's there yet as a rapper to be carrying a project of this level with that type of production, the type of attention to detail that's going into it. He needs to sharpen up a little bit more. Maybe we're watching him getting his reps and they're getting their streams at the same time, but it's like I don't even know if he's in shape yet as a rapper. Somebody in the chat just said that he punches his lines in a lot. That comes with not being.
Yeah, I heard that a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know how I feel about punches. So it's like if your breathing is not down, and that's a skill in itself, being able to flow at a high level while controlling your breathing. If you got to punch in a lot and you're not in rapper shape, that takes away from the acoustic experience of listening to this project. So from that perspective, it's like, all right, he needs to tighten up a little bit more. I like the story behind it. I love the production. I love some of the songs. I got the track list here. I enjoyed Foreclosure. Temperature Check is my favorite track on the project. Count Your Blessings is up there for me. But it's like, guys, let's take a break, maybe 3 to 4 months, go cook up and work on tightening up. He needs to get in the gym, as we would say for basketball, get some shots up and tighten up his performance. So when the next project comes, the flow is not inconsistent. The punching is not so much, and we could truly listen to this project the way we're supposed to listen to it. Because I hate to do this because you know what I mean. Hit Boy showed us a lot of love, but Big Hit needs to get better if we're going to be listening to him at this level going forward. That's where I'm at with it.
I don't think that's a crazy complaint.
I don't disagree.
These are two producers at the absolute highest level of the game. So I don't think saying step your rap game up is necessarily an insult when you're talking about producers of this magnitude, you know?
Legendary shit.
Word.
You know what I mean? Well, let's get into this Eminem. Since the rap song, you batting lead off. Houdini is out. Let's talk about it.
Oh, man. First of all, so when I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be like the whole album was dropping. It was only a single, you know what I mean? So I tapped into it. It's not good, but it's not as bad as I expected it to be. And I'm feeling kind of ambivalent about it, honestly. I'm not going to slander it. I don't think it's as bad as some of his most recent work, so I'm not going to completely dogpile on it. But really, at this point, I see what he's going for. You know what I mean? I see that he wants to, give people that feeling of like, 20, 22 years ago. But it's hard to recapture that, bro. Like Eminem at 50, whatever years old he is, it's going to be really, really hard to capture that magic that he had back in those days. And let's be honest, like this is a poor man's Without Me. And Without Me was already like, I am like that. We already had that kind of feeling like, M is getting kind of corny with the first single and the whole shtick and the shenanigans, the crotch, the crotch shot in the camera, and he reprised the crotch shot in the camera like nobody wants that in 2024. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. Again, I'm not going to completely slander it because lyrically, I feel like he was in pocket, but it's just like it's 2024. We don't need a Without Me. You know what I mean? We just don't. We don't need crotch shots in the cameras. We don't need, the shenanigans. We don't need it. Like nobody asked for this. That's how I feel about it.
Do you need a balance? What's the word, man?
Man, I think I'd like to say I've been probably the biggest bondsman of M at the table over the years. I've shot bail. I've had the vest on with the bail bondsman thing on it, but bro, didn't say he's not gonna pile on it. This is like a White Castle Dookie type whack, bro. Like,
Yikes.
this shit is trash. I'm upset. My name is associated anywhere in the record. It's called Houdini. The frustration I heard listening to that record, bro. Like, you know when you defend a nigga, bro, and then they say, you know what, this is my last time, my last attempt. I'm coming outside.
Actually,
I'm like,
recently.
yo, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? He gonna have to really rap. This is the time. You know what I'm saying? He has to rap. Like, even if it's not the best rapping, he has to rap. I pressed play, bro. I was complete and utterly disgusted. It is a poor man without me, and we didn't like without me. So what is? We could have been without me, and we could have been without Houdini. This song is ass, like complete ass. Shout out to my homie Mickey Fax for doing the breakdown. You're a great guy, bro. Like, we love you here. It's bad, bro. It's just a bad record. Sten, I'm shocked you got bail for it. This is ass. It's really ass.
So, purely for nostalgic value. The only reason I'm not completely shitting on it is because at least he's, I don't know, at least he's trying. You know what I mean? At least he's trying to like give the people what they want. But it's been 20 plus years since this kind of song was, you know what I mean, was popular or was like hitting on any type of format or platform. It's just it sounds so outdated. It sounds like really just trying to relive your glory days, but in like the worst way possible. The hook is fucking terrible. You know, I'm about to get in my bag, bro. Like, abracadabra. Like, it's just it's not good. I'm telling you.
Then
like,
was remembering them bars, man.
Yeah, it got him.
I'm telling you,
You don't,
like,
you don't even get the 3 stacks bars, man.
It's not. It's not good. But
what the fuck?
All right, this is the amount of bail that I'm throwing. It's not good, but it is not as bad as I expected. I thought it was. I thought I was gonna get something worse. I thought I was gonna get something cringier, and you know, and it's cringy. It is. I'm not gonna lie, it's cringy, but it's cringy for a different reason than what I thought it was gonna be.
I can't see any brothers saying, "Yo, put on that Houdini." I can't.
But Dean, that's been the case for 20 years. I'm gonna say this. It did its job. It 100% did its job. Eminem is a nearly 60-year-old white man who's a former drug addict.
True.
His POV, his perspective is not something that us four would generally rock with. You know what I'm saying? So right. I have to, at this point, when it comes to Eminem, I have to completely look at it from what does that feed his fan base? Pause type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And the Meg line was the most viral line of the weekend. That's what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? The video ran up a bunch of views. That's what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Even us, we don't really talk about Eminem singles like that. We talk about the albums, yeah. We talk about the the issues with Benzino, but even an Eminem single, I think it made an impact, I should say. You know what I mean? Eminem, I used to be a person who listened to Eminem in real time, but that was really around when I hit puberty, to be honest with you. Like, it's been a long time, bro.
Right.
So when it comes to Eminem, it's like I'm not really looking for something to make something that's gonna fit my type of, what I want to hear. I see Mike H saying you can't blast this in the whip. That's really been the case since like Eminem show, bro. You ain't been able to blast no Eminem in the whip forever. So it's like I don't think he's trying to make that type of music.
Where are you playing this?
You know what I'm saying? So
Now, here's my question. What for the Eminem fan, like the hardcore Eminem fans, I feel like Eminem show is their classic. It's like their Illmatic. You know what I mean? For me personally, again, I fuck with Eminem for the Slim Shady LP. The shit he did with Rockets was fire. And then Marshall Mathers LP. I never thought it was the classic that everybody else said it was, but it was a dope album. By the time Eminem show came around, I was like, all right, I'm kind of getting over this shtick. But this is what the actual Eminem fans love. They love the Eminem show, at least from what I hear, from what I see on Twitter and the socials and stuff. Like that's the album that a lot of Eminem fans go back to. So I kind of understand it. And I feel like on the most minute of levels, he hit a mark. He just missed most of it though. So,
hey man, the Zoom call won't end, but you know what? Fuck that. We gotta talk about Eminem.
Good.
So I'm gonna get my Stephen A on right now. You know, all-time great rapper, one of the faces of the Detroit hip hop scene. Love it or hate it, he's one of the faces of the Detroit hip hop scene. Over 20 years in the game, he's put on. He signed some of our favorites, like it or hate it. He signed some of our favorites. He's done a lot for the culture, as much as we don't want to admit it. Even if you don't play Eminem in the hood, he's done a lot. With that being said, I am not mad at this song at all. In fact,
don't tell me you're playing it in the whip.
Nah,
bro.
he's not.
If Eminem is gonna rap at this point in his career, I'd rather this shit than he would have the hit that sounds
exactly.
That sounds like
that's exactly my point.
We're rapping on it, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like the nostalgia. You know what I mean? Nostalgia is my favorite drug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of like the harkening back with the Sonics. Even the visual helped. I felt like a kid again. He put on the little Robin costume. I'm not mad at it. The Megan bars. He didn't disrespect her, but he said something controversial that got people talking. It got the people going. I saw somebody in the chat just say he's 51 years old. Hey man, he's a 51-year-old rapper shaking the fucking table. That's all you can ask for. You know what I mean? Like we've heard a lot of songs from M that have not been good. So let's be clear. This ain't one of them. In fact, this is a strong single, and usually when M drops, it be a wave of niggas panning it. I looked on the internet in the mix of my crazy weekend. I looked on the internet and I didn't see many people panning it whatsoever. So with that being said, Eminem did his job. He got the people talking. Hey, he didn't make me hate listening to rap for 3 minutes. I am not mad at this single whatsoever. I'm looking.
Wow.
If this
That's
is the
incredible.
entry point, I'm almost curious to see what else he has in tow. Because he's, to me, you know what this says to me? It says that he is very self-aware of what niggas like us have been saying about him. For him to take this route, he could have got what Shorty Day that do all of his hooks.
Skylar Grey.
He could have got Skylar again and made more music. He didn't have to give a fuck. But he took this route because somebody got in his ear or he's heard the noise and decided that, you know what? Oh, niggas think I'm toast and I'm making more music. How about this? Y'all want that Slim Shady shit? How about this?
So this is the mall music though? This don't sound like mall music to you?
It could be. It might be. It's not deeply suburban.
It's not Z100 mall music.
Right.
Yeah.
What Mos Def said, it's not Target. It's not for Target shoppers.
It's not it's not Walmart. It might be Target. It's not Walmart.
Oh man.
Some of that other shit was Walmart music.
You know how that moment you really quit on a nigga, like you really everything in your body, you just feel that energy leave your body, like listen, I can't do this anymore.
The first time I heard Central C was in Champ Sports. I might hear this in Champ Sports. I'm just saying, I'm not mad at it. That's all I'm saying. Don't put words in my mouth and say that I said it's fire. I said that I'm not mad at it. That's all I'm saying at this moment. The song is not bad, and I'm not mad at it.
Jarv, I think, is a little more enthusiastic than I am, but I'm more in line with what Jarv is saying.
To that comment,
not entirely mad at it. You know what I mean? It's not great. It's not good, but it's definitely better than what he's been giving us. And because he always had this formula of releasing these goofy singles before the album, there's a very small part of me that is interested to see what the album has in store. Because if he's going by the formula of releasing the goofy single first before the dope, you know, like when he was back in the day when he was releasing the goofy singles, the albums were actually dope. You know what I mean? When you get into the album cuts. So we'll see what he has in store. We'll see what producers he's working with. I should have looked up who produced this record. I'm about to look that shit up now.
If there was a reason to go back to nostalgia, man, I would have took a Hi, My Name Is better than a fucking Without Me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like that's when it comes to his fan base, his hardcore fans,
right?
That's what they go back to. The Eminem show.
And let's be clear.
Don't ask me why, but
we spent this podcast has been around 5 years. We done spent 5 years bashing Eminem. Again, there's a lot of new motherfuckers in here who'll be real loud in the chat who didn't do the knowledge, who ain't go back, like Christopher the Conqueror, who's been going back and watching all the old shit so he can see where we've been at. So when you come in this chat real loud saying some bullshit, we know you ain't do the knowledge. We've been bashing Eminem for a very long time. So the one time I decided not to bash him is because I don't hate the song. If the Eminem fans decide to overrate it, what's new? Water is wet. Eminem fans overrate everything he does. But in this case, I'm just saying I'm not mad at the song. Is that a crime?
Nah. And it seems that Eminem himself produced it, along with Louis Resto.
That makes me extremely uninterested in this album immediately. Oh no. Take back everything I just said. That was the best beat he made for the whole project then.
Yikes.
Man.
But yeah, man, again, like I was saying, there's a small part of me that's somewhat intrigued as to what this album has in store. But I'm not gonna expect much out of it. I'm gonna be completely honest.
What at this point, Eminem hasn't shown us anything. Let's be clear. Eminem hasn't shown us anything. Like, let's say, I hate to keep using him as the barometer for older rappers, but it is what it is at this point. Eminem hasn't shown us anything like a Nas to where we could say, all right, Nas did a bunch of albums with Hit Boy. So when he get with Primo for this project, at the very least, we know the rapper is gonna be there because he's been rapping at a high level for 6 consecutive albums. Eminem hasn't shown us that, bro. And this is not a shot at M. If you're an Eminem fan, and you can't be reasoned with, don't downvote us because our taste in rap is different from yours. We're just saying that in our opinion, he hasn't been rapping at a high level for a very long time.
We might get downvoted more than fucking Drake and our project.
87
for slandering them.
I'm just saying the man hasn't shown us anything. He hasn't earned the equity, right? But that's why I'm listening to this track and I expected some bullshit. So when I didn't hear bullshit, I'm like, oh, and it was like the beat was pretty decent, the flow was pretty decent. He was on his antics vibes. I'm like, you know what? I like this. If there was a way for him to tap into that Slim Shady energy from yesteryear, I'm not mad at what he did with this song. Is all I'm saying. Like, I think that it's a step in the necessary direction to get away from the fuck shit that we believe he's been making for a couple of years with whatever shorty name is. With that more music, I'm not afraid. Like, we don't want that. Not what we want.
But if this is actually his swan song, if he chooses to retire, I mean, is this the best way to go out? Like being a caricature of your old self?
Yes. Go out the way you came in. Pause.
It's just, I don't know.
Finn, you know better than to buy into any rapper retirement. Don't even speak on it.
That's
rappers don't retire, bro.
You're right. I don't know
even the dead ones.
But listen, man. Like I gotta talk my shit again. I mean, Eminem fans out there, if y'all still thinking he's the number one of all time, the GOAT, yeah, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. This is the best. This is the best that he could do at this point. You know what I mean? We've seen great shit out of Hov. We've seen great shit out of Nas. You know what I mean? This is the best that he could do.
So many times.
It's a little shaky. It's a little shaky, man. Stop acting like he's the GOAT. Stop it, please.
Disgusting.
Top five. He's not even top five. Land of Plenty. He's not even top five. Get out of here.
He's in somebody's top five.
Top 25.
All right, let's. Y'all want to talk about it? We got some time.
Fuck it.
I think as far as bar for bars goes, M got to be at least top 10. Just on bars alone, he got to be in the top 10. Say what we want to say about the music, but the lyrics, he got to be top 10.
In terms of lyricists,
I don't.
You top 10 lyricists.
You got no. Listen.
It's definitely a conversation.
Listen,
I told you in the chat. Oh shit,
Def, what up?
Listen, I am sitting next to a 12-story window right now, and what I'm about to say is got me feeling like there's going to be a red dot on my head from some crazed Eminem fan. But he's not even top. I could name 10 better lyricists than Eminem.
Let's go, son.
I guarantee you right now I could name you 10 better lyricists.
The chat Eminem. Gonna want it now that you said it. The chat gonna want that.
And the thing is, like, can you for real though? Like, are you gonna be really naming people that's better?
But look,
it's not that many as much as you think it is though.
In the sense of being able to rhyme orange with door hinge, all right, I'll give him that. But in terms of like a lyricist that makes you feel the bar, because it's not even just about being able to make the shit rhyme and fucking, you know what I mean, like measuring out every single 16th note bar. It's really about the potency of the intricate bars that you spit. So like I could name like if I listen to old Rakim, it's gonna hit better than Eminem. If I listen to old Kane, it's gonna hit better than Eminem. You know what I mean? If I listen to old G-Rap, it's gonna hit better than Eminem. That's three motherfuckers from the 80s.
Yeah, but what you mean by hit better? But that don't mean they nicer.
Lyrical dexterity is that what he's discussing?
But hold up, right? So Rakim, hold on. Rakim, Kane, and G-Rap are not as lyrically nice as Eminem, if not nicer. Is that what we're saying?
Why are you making it sound like it's so crazy to say that M is lyrically dexterous? What are we doing here?
I think Eminem is a better lyricist than Kane. I do.
Nah, I wouldn't even.
I think he has more in the lyrical tool bag. I think Kane is one of the forefathers of that multi-syllabic style, that rapid fire machine gun type of shit. You know what I mean? That AZ went on the master, that a lot of niggas went on the master. I think that Eminem is a better lyricist than him.
I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't even do it. In the sense of like
G-Rap is different.
Lupe, you got Lupe, you got Big Pun. Listen, and I'm talking like Can
you be trusted to talk about Eminem, bro?
No. Hear me out. I'm talking about in terms of like on average across his career is what I'm talking about. If we're talking about just peak,
okay,
like only his peak, 98, 99 to like 02. Okay, now we talking something. But it's been like 25 years. It's been 25 years. And it's like what? For 5 years out of 25 years. That's it.
I'm just saying, bro.
That's a fifth. That's 20%.
I'm just saying.
Nas is rhyming at an elite clip right now.
I ain't say he was your neighbor's I ain't say we don't do mic checks here, Jadori. That's branded across the street, sir. Don't do that to us ever again. All I'm saying is when it comes to Eminem, I'm not saying his songs is vainglorious. You know how I feel about Eminem's music. I'm just saying the ability to make words rhyme. He might be top 10. That's what I'm saying. He might be top 10.
It's a conversation.
Right. That's all he got. Like, let's be
people say, what about subject matter and this and that and this and that? So now we can have a little fun with this conversation. Chat, don't take away from the conversation, add to it. That's your role right now. Don't nitpick what the fuck we talk about. Make sure you add to the conversation.
Black Thought definitely better than Eminem.
Oh yeah,
That's another one.
yeah.
Another one.
Of course. But what I'm saying is,
Okay.
what do you mean by subject matter, chat? Because Eminem rhymes about shit that us as people of color don't give a fuck about. Does that mean that he doesn't have subject matter? Again, I'm not an Eminem fan. I'm asking the question. What do you mean by subject matter? Because I don't care about drugs and beefing with celebrities and all the other shit he raps about. But that don't mean he don't have subject matter. It just means that we as people of color don't care about what Eminem raps about. Like call it what it is. We gravitate to the Griseldas and the Gibbses and the Nas's and the Hoveses and the Jadakisses, etc., because there's a certain level of relatability in what they rapping about. On top of the fact that we do like the hood tales, as Sin calls it, right? But Eminem don't rhyme about the shit that they rhyme about. So how can we question subject matter if we don't like what he rhymes about?
I'll take this. I think. Let me start here. I think when people say that Eminem, or not even just Eminem, a certain ilk, a certain lane of rappers don't have subject matter is because they have more of a stream of consciousness kind of style.
Right.
You know what I mean? For instance, like it's the kind of style that Ghostface perfected. You know what I mean? But Ghostface, you know what I mean? You never hear people like leveraging that comment at Ghostface the way they do at Eminem, because Ghostface is one of us and Eminem not so much. You know what I mean? So I think there is a level of like people don't really gravitate to Eminem's particular brand or stream of consciousness because his references are not the references that a lot of us get. You know what I mean? But still in all, again, like early on, there was a certain level of imagination to his stream of consciousness that I personally gravitated to early on. It seems like he lost some of that. I don't know if it was because he got sober. But I mean, yeah, but like I think that's what it is. I think like even when he's tackling certain subjects, it's not necessarily subjects that we gravitate to. And then also when he's on his stream of consciousness shit, it's always references that them folks over there get and that we don't really gravitate to that either. You know what I mean? And yes, I said them folks for whoever gets mad. Fuck them.
But that's what I mean. There is a disconnect with his subject matter. I agree 100%. There's things that he raps about that I will never care about. Point blank, period. And it's some of the goofy shit that he was like Rap God as an example. There was a phrase when when Kendrick Lamar dropped The Heart Part 5. I remember Coop called it word salad. Vividly remember that. But I also remember before we even had a podcast, I believe, or maybe just the early stages of the Rap Roundtable, when Rap God dropped, before I knew what the phrase word salad was, that's what I felt. I felt like he wasn't saying anything on that song. It was just fast flow, great breathing. Like he's a skilled technician at this shit. Like we gotta make sure that we give M his due as one of the greatest technical rappers because he's good at everything. M can flow any way you want him to flow. Like we gotta give him his due. But when he was rhyming, I'm like, this is whack. Yeah, he's not saying anything. You know what I mean? But it's like, all right, but to me, black guy from Brooklyn is not saying anything. But what about the white dude in North Dakota who might fuck with this shit?
Well, that's why he's the GOAT to them. That's why he's the GOAT to them over there. Them folk.
Does that denote not liking M's subject matter, or is that saying M has no subject matter? You know what I mean? Because M does have songs rapping about a bunch of different actual topics that might affect him. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's like, I understand where people come from with that because I don't really necessarily bond with what Eminem raps about either. But when people are trying to get at y'all favorite coke rappers and y'all favorite rappers that been rapping about guns for 25 years, that's what they say. oh, I like these niggas because they rapping about something. And people don't like to hear that. They say let the people rap what they want to hear about. Judge them by their creativity, how they rap. You know what I mean? The delivery. You know what I mean? The quality of the music. So I don't really go for the subject matter thing because most rappers rap about subjects that I could care less about. If you want to be honest, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like I think it's more of a thing that Eminem he gets into. He really drains all the musicality out of his music. You know what I mean? He over focuses on the rapping. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of more the issue is that he gets so much into the rapping that there's no subject at all.
Bingo. It's more like the technical ability of rapping means more than the actual song itself. It means more than the message. Everything is just like I had a car door. I went to the far door for the far door and the car door and the bar door. Like it's like it doesn't have to say anything about anything, but the connection of the bars is what brings everything together. We wouldn't accept that for most brothers, to be honest. And when we do, we Tech 9 them. You get what I'm saying? We say it's cool, but stay over there with that shit. The subject matter does matter, but specifically putting words together for the art of putting words together, there are not that many people that are better than him, bro. Like it is what it is. Like there's certain Eminem joints we used to be marveled by M. Like at least I was. I can't lie. There was times I was like, whoa, like this is a different kind of white boy we fuck with here. Like
but that M late 90s, early 2000s M was a monster, bro.
Like to the point where he could stand side by side with 50 and Dre. We didn't say what we didn't feel like a sham was going on here. We felt like he belonged there, which was wild, bro. Like
that's when he was hanging around black people, man.
He's not now, you think?
Wow. What are we doing here, Sin?
Sheesh.
Yo.
This isn't the first time I've said that.
But like I don't remember you saying it in a minute. But so you saying that the orange door hinge sipping porridge in the forest that's not bars?
Went to the forest to forage. Come on, man.
but again, there's a certain element of musicality in terms of the swing in the pocket that he used to, be cognizant of when he rhymed, or maybe not even cognizant. Maybe it just came naturally to him. Mm-hmm. Again, maybe it was the drugs that look. A lot of musicians in the entire history of music, a lot of musicians, like the genius musicians, they made their best shit when they was on drugs. They was high. They was on heroin. They was on fucking shrooms. They was on all that shit. You know what I mean? You remove that, and there's, you know what I mean? I like not to say I'm an advocate for drugs, but I do believe that certain drugs allow you to like see and live, be in sort of thinking areas and live in areas that normally you wouldn't live in mentally. You know what I mean? And so when he was on those, illicit drugs, I think he was able to like find different pockets of his flow to hit, and it just, even when he was saying shit like orange door hinge, just the way that he said it, he freaked it. He curveballed those lines in there to where they hit right on the corner of the plate. You know what I mean? Now it just seems like he's shooting fastballs right over the middle of the plate every single time. That doesn't hit.
I like that.
That never hits.
I mean, and that's you know what? To bring it back, that was a great one. To bring it back full circle. That's why when I first heard the song, I'm like, oh, all right, he's not leaning into the shit that we've been tired of for so long. Like he actually tried to do something a little different or nostalgia bait, as I said earlier. I guess that's why I'm not mad at it, because every time new M comes along, I'm expecting the weird sounding voice with the over rapping bars where it's like, and I know it sounds crazy, we're the rap roundtable and we're getting upset if a person over raps, but there's a certain sweet spot when it comes to writing your bars and making connective lyrics and pocket and flow and breathing. That shit just sounds glorious, as opposed to a dude who just throwing a bunch of words at you and then a person who's not really in touch with the culture saying he's the best, when it's like, bro, are you actually listening to what he's saying? You know what I mean? So from that regard, it's like, I guess maybe I'm out the window saying he top 10 lyrically. I just feel like the guy can write bars. He can rhyme any word. He can flow any way you want him to. That has to count for something. We can't take everything away from the guy.
That's a fact.
I agree.
I'm not taking
Sin
everything
taking it
away,
You
but
taking it away, Sin.
no, I'm not taking it away. I'm just saying I even on a lyricist level, I think I can comfortably pick 10 rappers that I think are lyrically more potent
Ouch.
than he is.
Oh.
And notice I said the word potent. I didn't say like just the ability to rhyme words in meter. You know what I mean? There has to be a certain level of potency. And he paused, but he hasn't been potent in like how long? You know what I mean? To us, no matter how many syllables he could fit within, quarter notes and eighth notes of a bar, it was all for naught because you know what I mean. Like there was no pocket, there was no flow. The references didn't hit. It was nothing.
You see what Double Barrel said? He said, "M is to sin, what Yachty is to job."
I agree. I think the disdain is equal.
That's not true. That's not true because
It's not true.
I was at least a fan of Eminem at one point.
Huh.
Sometimes
I would put Royce over Eminem too, honestly.
Matter of fact, while we here, shout out to the homie Demi D. He was on Twitter talking about Saha the Prince. Not to scare the hoes or the listeners away for a second, but he was saying that Saha is like I guess one of the nicest, whatever the case may be.
It's a fact.
And I was saying that that's cool, but he struggles to make people care about his music. I think he's another one of these lyrical dudes who just doesn't make the best songs. He got a few songs here or there, but I feel like he struggles to make people care about his music. But so then Demi was saying that he's one of the best MCs. I said, you can't give him MC status if he can't make good songs. I think he's a great lyricist. Is there a difference between MC and lyricist? Or am I just off base entirely?
Nah, you're not off base.
I think over time. Nope. Sorry, Mace. I think over time, MC and lyricist kind of became synonymous, or if not synonymous, like very close to each other in the way that they're used. But again, the term MC is supposed to mean move the crowd, so there's got to be like a live. At least a live show element of it. You know what I mean? Or if your song plays, it gets the crowd moving. You know what I mean? But there has to be lyricism within the MC. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just spit some bullshit and have the crowd erupt and then you are MC. Like, there's got to be some lyrical aspect of it. But there's lyricists that's that don't necessarily move the crowd. So it's a good question.
Like low key, like the term lyricist is kind of like the negative, like a derogatory mark for like an MC that you don't want to listen to like that. If you really go in and break it down, you know what I'm saying? Like most people, they say he's a lyricist. They usually don't really spin his tunes like that. If you really think about it, they acknowledge he's like no disrespect to a Black Thought. Everyone acknowledges Black Thought's nice, but no one ever says.
Here you go with Black Thought again.
Hold on, Sid. He not dissing him. He making a good point. In fact,
everybody. I mean, even you don't even actually listen to Black Thought at outings. You get what I'm saying? If he was as nice as everyone says he is, people be playing him. We will be asking to him all the time, like we listen to a million other artists. Like a Lupe. I love Lupe. I don't hear nobody asking to hear Paris, Tokyo when we out though. I'm gonna keep it a beam. You know what I'm saying? It just lyricist is like the term for MC. Like Jadakiss is an MC. We still want to listen to Kiss though, in terms of like maybe not as much today, but you get my gist. But when we say someone like Lupe, we say somebody like Black Thought. We say somebody like even Kendrick. Kendrick is like in that fine line between MC and lyricist. He's like an MC lyricist you want to listen to. I'm telling you.
That's why there's a difference. I think Kendrick is an MC who can play the lyricist game, but I think at its core, because he moves people in the right way, you can't even do that to Kendrick. He's an MC.
Exactly.
Right.
It kind of sucks, but low key is a derogatory term. Low key.
If I Mace, I'm sorry. Let me just step in because I think.
Yo, can you let Mace get his fakes off, please?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Him twice.
No. Because I was literally just thinking about this because I I was seeing the clips of Black Thought at the Roots picnic. I was seeing them online. I wish I had been there.
Right.
But again, I think the more we get removed from the lyricist that catches wreck on stage and moving the crowd with the lyricism and the bars, the more we get removed from that, the more there's going to be a disconnect between MC and lyricist. Black Thought to me is an MC because if I go to a Root show or a Black Thought show and he starts freestyling off the dome and with the energy that he has on stage, like that's absolutely going to move me, and it's going to move his crowd. You know what I mean? If you're not his crowd, you know what I mean? Are we going to say that Method Man and Redman aren't MCs because they didn't move that particular crowd at Summer Jam?
I think we're reaching with that. That's a reach. You're reaching, Sid.
I don't think it's a reach. Go ahead, Mace.
And Sin, you wouldn't walked on it if you knew I was agreeing with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I agree. I think that when we get to a nigga like Black Thought, that's more of an MC. You know what I mean? Because Sin mentioned move the crowd. To me, it's voice, it's delivery, it's
what
ability.
Crowd though?
It was the Roots picnic. No disrespect. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Like the crowd is there for him, essentially. Like no disrespect.
I miss y'all niggas, man.
Yeah. I mean, we can see it in the big. God. You know what
But
like,
when we talk about
listen, man, look.
It's tight, bro.
No, I'm tight. I'm tight. I'm tight because I come from a never like I would go to a show and I would want to go to a show and I would want to hear a freestyle off the dome, or I would want to hear some new bars, some acapella shit, some shit it's not a hit song, it's not on the albums, you know what I mean? And so when I see a Black Thought up on the stage, you know what I mean, and he freestyles off the dome or he reworks the lyrics to protect your neck, you know what I mean, and puts his own spin on it. That's not something that I know. I didn't go to the show thinking I was gonna hear that, but when I hear it, it moves me. That's what an MC does. He could give you something new right there on the stage or spit off the dome, and he'll move the crowd.
No, I respect that. Be clear, like the Black Thought slander is only to upset Sin. I don't, you know what I mean? I only do that to get Sin mad. You know what I mean? But I think with that whole thing, what you're talking about, there is that other tier. There's lyricist, there's MC, then there's rapper. A lot of these whack niggas who don't got bars, they're rappers. They're like they go to, you know, some of these get jobs. They clock in as a rapper, they clock out as a rapper. They're not MCs or lyricists. They just doing whatever the label want them to do. Right. Those guys are in a different bracket altogether.
You know who I would put as a lyricist, not MC? I don't know, Mike. The dude that's or Earl Sweatshirt.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody like that.
I thought we were shooting,
like
right?
I
was
like, what we doing here?
Damn.
So we shooting? Like, do I gotta get ready?
Rapping free? Shit, dude.
Nah, but
I think about them battle rap type dudes, dudes who can't make a song, dudes who, you know what I mean, they struggle to write a bridge, you know what I mean, dudes who you hear their voice and you don't even want to hear their voice, you know what I mean, dudes who you write their lyrics on paper and it looks better than when you actually heard it on a song. That's when I think of like straight just a lyricist, that's the type of rapper honestly, I think about, you know what I mean?
I be having my weird observations of the world and shit. I be in my own space. I'm not Houdini with the weed, but I just have like a very specific point of view about everybody and everything. So look, I feel like if you a rapper, I'm sorry, chat, I'm apologizing first before you get mad at me. But if you a rapper and you go to like, let me get in position. You go to like LA Leakers or whatever the show is right now, or whatever freestyle platform that you go on, and you rhyming like this, and you do this move right here, that little nose flick, when they rhyming, and they you're a whole scaring rapper who doesn't make good songs. I know I don't want to hear music from you. With that little move right there, that move when they flick their nose, you scared of hoes.
The battle rap
Tell me I'm wrong, because y'all all seen it. When them niggas doing that freestyle and they feeling the beat and their hands start going, then they do that little thing. They don't make good songs. All they can do is make, you know what I mean? They're just good at rapping. I'm lying? Chad, I'm lying?
Yo,
Job, what type of hat them niggas be wearing? They be wearing a specific hat, bro.
Well, well, them be the niggas that wear.
the brim scully.
yo,
They wear the brim
The Brim
scullies.
Scully, bro.
Gully.
They wear the brim scullies
The
and the champion
the
super hoodies
the army hat.
with a leather on in the summer. It be them niggas.
Damn boot shoes.
I'll say this: I think an MC should at least have an anthem,
All right.
an anthem that at least moves their fans. You know what I mean? You can't just go up on the stage and just bars. They got to be at least one anthem that you know what I mean, one signature song that you could call your anthem for your crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What
All
would
right.
you call that for
mean,
Black Thoughts, man? Not taking
What was
shots,
that?
but I'm just saying, as a fan, what's that song for Black Thought fans?
Oh
It would
shit!
definitely
Yeah.
be roots music.
it's the
It
hot
would have-
97
yeah, it would have to go back to the
freestyle, but you
roots.
Can't play
It would
nowhere.
be roots music.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know
I
if I
got
would
you
call
with-
you got me.
You got
an
me with
anthem.
Erykah Badu. That
But,
that,
like-
that goes off everywhere.
It does.
Everywhere.
That would probably be their signature
might be-
song. I wouldn't call it an anthem, but like it's a signature
It's
song.
a huge song for them. They're crazy if they don't perform the show.
What they do, Concerto de Desperado. What else? That shit from with the guitarist dude. Damn, I forget the name now. There's a few out there that's like their anthems.
Fair enough. Let's get into some. I'm chat. Don't leave, but we got to talk about it for a second. Macito,
The Seed.
What's this
The
I'm
Seed
hearing?
2.0.
what
That's
am
what
I
was
hearing about Drake giving out Lucy's to randos? Like, what's going on?
Listen, y'all, a remix just dropped while we was on air. A remix dropped.
Damn, Sin don't even care.
Sin just dipped out. He said, "What? Oh, I'm out of here." Listen, he dropped from a Toronto rando, like you said, y'all. Snowdy. I don't know if it's Snow Ready. I don't even know. I never heard of this dude. You know what I mean? It's a remix of the Hey There Delilah, if you old enough to remember that song. You know what I mean? Old pop song. This dude is remixing it. Drake is on it. One of the times my Wi-Fi messed up and I had to dip out, I went and go checked it real quick. It ain't good, y'all. It ain't good.
Man.
I'm not going to be the person to come up here and say that it's good. I don't necessarily know what's going on with Drake right now. I don't know if he's like right now in his burning house. Don't pay attention to this. Watch me juggle real quick phase of the battle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. You know, we've had, you know, the Sexy Red, You My Everything, which is, you know, it's done, you know, when we talk about statistics, it's statistically one of the worst Drake songs that's come out in the last few years. You know what I'm saying? Since like the pandemic times when people wasn't even really listening to music like that. He's had, you know, now this, you know, I'm not sure where exactly the boy is going musically right now. I know he's trying to make it seem like I don't really care what's going on, guys. You know what I mean? It's whatever. The battle's over. We had a good run. But this is, to me personally, as a fan, this ain't what I want to hear right now. I'm not saying Drake needs to come on and bar up Beanie Siegel 02 style on niggas. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what
actually.
I mean? But I don't think that. I think, you know, I think he need a no guidance like a motherfucker right now. You know what I mean? I think he need a hotline bling like a motherfucker right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Do the people want it? The downvotes is nasty out here. They saying it's a bot. People arguing if it's a bot. People saying it's real people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
It's looking
wild.
bad. That's it's the facts, Job. You know what I mean? None of these songs have been good though. You know what I mean? You My Everything was distinctly it wasn't good. Yeah, Drake was rapping on there for like the BBL Drizzy part for like 4 bars. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the song was just musically bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think niggas, you know, not Jaws, you know what I'm saying? But I'm ready, you know, to hear Drake with the melodies. You know what I'm saying? Personally, you know? Personally,
keep my hand in the air. You know what I mean?
I'm ready. You know, listen, the next
And we
Drake
all
album's
know-
gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
I already said it. But I think if this is the type of
LP,
rapping that Drake is
fool.
doing right now,
Man
then
said
nah.
345.
That's what it sound like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo.
that's what it sound like, bro. So No, it's not.
shit.
I'm not asking Drake to come in and bar up on niggas, but I am asking him to make like good songs, bro. Like,
Facts.
you feel me?
I am God.
Yeah.
What's good?
I am God, the
Salute.
homie. I seen you
Dean,
too, Def. What up?
before we
Go
get to
next.
Sin's takes, what's Dini? Is there any bail that you can give Drake, or does he need to get the fuck out of here?
It's no bail, man. The records have been whacked, and I understand. Like it's kind of like natural habitat, man. You feel like if everything else don't work, I'm gonna go and do the thing that's been working for the longest. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think this is gonna be this is not the end. We might get a little bit of everything. He might start throwing out the Drizzy My Nizzy type tracks. He might start throwing out the Afro beat shit again. We might hear a little Caribbean vibes. He might throw the shit at the fan just to make some stick, or he does what I think he should do. Just be rich for a while, my nigga. Take a few vacations. Let somebody document all the things you're doing. Let us see like a different side of life. I just think the music thing right now is just, it looks like Kendrick got you on a run. Like you're almost like trying to rediscover yourself. And that looks crazy in the sense of the battle. Just take a nice little break and let the fans kind of demand what they want from you. Since you got 90,000 types of Drakes anyway, you might as well just let the fans ask what they want. Maybe at the midsummer, we need a bop. You know what I'm saying? Drake, give us a bop. But I feel like trying to force the music, trying to force us to forget about what happened, it just comes off as a little cheap, man.
You just called a technical, Dini, but it's all right. We don't want no man to give us a bop. Let's be clear.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Fire.
Yikes.
Anyway,
Yo.
so say the rap song. What's going on, bro?
Can I talk my shit? Can I be like fully
Yes.
like
They came for.
all right, I'm gonna just say it. Drake is a thought, bro. Drake is a thought, and he acting like a thought. Drake is that Drake. You know how like when a thought like they go on Instagram, you know what I mean? Like when they get their heart broken or whatever, like a dude shits on them, and you know what I mean? Or they go through a breakup, they go straight to Instagram and they start showing out like, oh, I'm over here, I'm looking good, I really don't care, I'm unbothered. That's what Drake is doing right now with all these announcements and all these features and all that. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like yeah, that battle, whatever. Like that doesn't bother me none. Drake is not good at acting like he's unbothered. Like I've gone back and seen a lot of interviews where you clearly see like he gets a certain question or a particular topic comes up, and you feel his whole energy shift, and then like he'll immediately go into like this script that he has in his head of how to act unbothered, but we clearly see you being bothered, bro. And that's exactly what's going on right now. Like we're seeing it in real time. He's acting like a thought who got shitted on, and now he's out here acting like I'm not bothered by any of that. I'm gonna do this song with Sexy Red. I'm gonna do this song with Camila Cabello. I'm gonna do this song with Snow Day or Snow 4Y or however the fuck you name you say his name. That's what's going on out here. Drake, you're not slick. We see right through it. You're bothered. You're faltering. You don't know what your next step should be. And we're seeing it in real time. Like this is the most shaken I feel like we've seen Drake. Like it's crazy. And who did that? Who did that? Who did
30 niggas.
20.
It was Kung Fu Kenny.
Thank you.
You know, Sincere, you're right on the money, and I'll take it a step further. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go turn my lights on. I'll be back.
And please, I don't want to pile on, but we gonna talk about it. In our casual, normal, non-podcasting lives, you know, the bros will have conversations, and we'll have like men talk, you know, and we always talk about like the people who are new money, or the people who you could tell wasn't used to getting attention from the ladies when they were younger. So they were a late bloomer or whatever you want to call it. So now like when they get older, they don't know how to handle certain situations. They're new money in that regard. Drake, sad to say, he was not a cool nigga who got a record deal and went crazy. He was a Canadian dude who leaned more white than black. Super corny. Everybody called him. Everybody called him corny. Right? A cool nigga know how to lose. Believe it or not, cool niggas know how to lose gracefully.
Right.
Drake not even a sore loser because he's in a situation where he's trying so hard to still maintain or project cool that he doesn't realize that in trying so hard to project the cool, you look even cool. You showing us who you really are, who we thought you were the entire time. So in that regard, it's like Aubrey. Like I said in the chat to the guys in the group chat, I think it's time for him to go on a nice hiatus. You're not handling this well. You don't know how to handle this well because you don't have any true swag. You're not a cool nigga. You have no swag. You know what I mean? There was a comedian a few years ago who said that he tried to holler at a girl and the note was so bad that she knocked the cool out of his walk. Kendrick knocked the cool out of your walk. So you need to go and just reconvene for a bit. We won't be mad. The space is fine. We don't act. This is one of the few times in rap where we don't need Drake. And so with that being said, you need to go sit down and figure out a way or just make niggas forget. Because if you're not trying to come outside and get aggressive, the passive aggressive talking at the end of diss songs is not going to work. You're either going to get aggressive and tell Kendrick to fuck out here, or you're going to go hide for a second. Doing these, giving away free or whatever you do, Lucy's to nobodies, doing that dumb song with Sexy Red. You're every downvote that Drake is getting, he's earning it right now. Sad to say it. You ain't handled none of the last 2 months. You've done nothing right. How did a person who won this much in life fail so hard recently? Have you learned nothing? Hov told you how to handle the situation on your own song, and you still fucked it up. You battled Pusha T, and you came out of that. Somehow or the other, it's like, you must have needed Jay Prince. Maybe Pusha T would have got him out of there the same way Kendrick did if Jay Prince ain't jumping. Because this is terrible. It's disgusting. He needs to go sit down. Oh, Mace, I'm sorry. We don't need no music. We don't need no Bob's Dini. He needs to go sit down, bro. It's time. For the first time in 15 years, he needs to go sit down.
Real quick. Go ahead, Mace. I stepped on you twice. Go ahead.
I'm thinking like because a lot of what the fellas are saying makes a lot of sense. But I see my boy 2 3s fighting back against it. I see a couple of the OVO guys. You know what I mean? I get where y'all coming from. I think a lot of the Drake fans are tired of
my man rubbing that poster 2 3s. You in the crib like Dexter's Laboratory looking at that.
2 3s is still fighting a good fight. That's my boy. But come on, 2 3s. We gotta give it up at this point. You know what I mean? But my thing is like it's one thing, and I think a lot of the Drake fans get mad at people kind of analyzing where his mental is at right now. So let's take out of where his mental state is. Let's completely strip it of that. Let's just talk about it musically, guys. Like, think about it.
Whack.
It's whack, number one. And at this point, Drake, this was the rap civil war, right? Except Spider-Man left Tony before the fight started. You know what I mean? So, like, the thing is,
could you, yo, that's a bar right there.
You fucking with me?
That's a bar right there.
The thing is, it's like he cannot work with anybody in Atlanta right now. A nice Atlanta bot would be nice, but he can't do that. You know what I mean? He can't fuck with none of the West Coast niggas going crazy right now. You know what I mean? Like his go-tos musically, the things that he would do and make a good song out of nowhere. That's kind of, you know, and even the ghostwriting thing is in question, right? So it might be a lot of niggas who he went to that was writers or people he collaborated with. So the music might falter for a little while. We got to admit that. You know what I mean? So, Job, I do see what you're saying where he might have to fall back because the next Drake album, he going to have to, you know what I mean? 90% of his collaborators is gone now. You feel me? Like, so it's like
I think it's time for us to get 09, 2010, 2011 Drake when he ain't need all the niggas. Where's that guy?
But here's the thing, and I'm glad I let Mace go first because it goes right into the point I wanted to make was that, you know what I mean? Let's go to the Not Like Us, you know, last verse where Kendrick breaks down how he swagger jacks everybody. But if all the motherfuckers that you was swagger jacking ain't fucking with you, where are you gonna go? You know what I mean? This moment that we're seeing where like Job said, he got the cool beat out of him, You know what I mean? And now he has nobody to go to and be like, yo, let me get some of your cool real quick. Cause I need to, I need to make some moves. I need some motion. I need to make a comeback.
To rejuvenate my cool.
Look, and that's not to even say it in a completely derogatory way, because like we've talked about how Nas fed off of Hit Boy's youthful energy and his cool, you know what I mean? And that there's a relationship there where you feed off of the energy that's around you, but like when motherfuckers ain't fucking with you no more, and when I say nobody's fucking with him. Who is he gonna go to be like, yo, let me, you know what I mean? Let me get your cool real quick and make my bounce back. It's not gonna happen for him right now. You muted.
He muted, y'all.
Yeah, I was saying there's some like slurping sounds coming from 2-3s. He got to work on that. Like,
yo,
you got to call my thing. You know what I mean? That them sound effects it's not becoming of you right now, sir. You know what I mean? But the cloth has turned his back on the boy. This is a true supporter of the show. The cloth. He gets the show, guys.
J7, what up?
J7 gets the show. You know what I mean? I didn't even have to say it. He said it for me. The cloth has spoken. Moving on.
Turneth their backs.
Cardi B, Bia. I just have a question for the guys. We don't really need to get into the breakdown, but I felt like what started off with the whole Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj thing, and then you had Kung Fu Kenny and Drake and the Rap Avengers coming together, Spider-Man ducking the fade, etc. I think now we've reached the point where rap beef has jumped the shark with this Cardi B and Bia situation. I think it's corny. I'm asking the Rap Roundtable: is this whole thing with Bia and Cardi corny?
Yes, shit is whack.
Okay.
Talk about how like her and the homegirls talk about how they don't like her back tattoos or whatever. Like putting it in the group chat. What kind of beef is that? What kind of diss is that? You know what I mean? What kind of bar is that?
What we have here is a good old fashioned cat fight.
Yeah, it's not even that, because it's like I'm watching it and it's like Cardi got all her receipts, so it's obvious that Bia is ultra clout chasing. Because if Cardi did the IG live, she showed that she recorded the song 2 years ago, etc., etc., etc. Why are we doing all of this? And then you're doing these videos, Bia, and you're pantomiming and you're showing the world that, because don't get me wrong, this cool matters to women too. Women just can't be pretty. You know what I mean? Don't let Twitter gas you. There's such thing as a cool woman with swag as well. And what I'm seeing from Bia is she lacks swag 110%.
Yeah.
And you here doing all of this. You know what I mean? She's not from the BX. She's from Boston.
No, she did the
wait, who's that Rev Run's daughter? I forget which one it is. That she's notorious for being pretty but having no.
The younger sister.
Yeah.
Angela Simmons, I think, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, like Bia, I don't really like Bia's music. I don't really care about this situation. And be it, if a rapper can make me care, but what I saw this weekend made me not want. No, it's not Vanessa. It's the other one. Vanessa's cool.
Angela's
the corny one.
Angela's the corny one. Yeah.
Bro said JoJo, chill, bro.
Wow. Burn been on full time.
Wow. Relax,
Joe. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm completely on the other side of this.
You locked in?
I think Cardi is being corny because the first I heard of it, Cardi said, "I'm suing." When Cardi sent the shots first, Cardi said, Cardi dissed her, and then the shorty threatened to diss her back, and she said, "I'm gonna sue you."
What she said? Who want to be?
Corniest shit that's what they were screaming for Drake to do. I'm like, that's the corniest shit I ever heard of, bro. You know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna be honest. Bia writes her raps. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. So she has the ability. Maybe Cardi nervous about not being able to get in the booth. You know what I mean? This was ass, but I feel like the complete kind of like shit that Cardi went on before the diss even came out made all of us be like, what's going on here? I don't even know if we always gonna listen to a Bia Cardi B diss if Cardi didn't go on a 30-minute IG live rant about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like Cardi, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe she don't want nobody dissing her. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I agree. I'm not listening to Cardi B or Bia, to be honest with you. To be fair, but from where I was looking at it, I feel like Cardi was being the corny one. If you feel like if Cardi probably felt like us, this is trash. So this a back then. You know what I mean? This is a Cardi verse. Every time I hear a Cardi verse,
Is it Party or Cardi?
is a party of Cardi, and this verse was a Bia diss. They was building it up online as, oh, she's gonna be dissing Bia in this song. You know what I'm saying? The verse before that, she was dissing Nicki. Like, that's this kind of Cardi shit nowadays, and then she get mad when she gets dissed back. So if we talk about the quality job, I do agree with you. Like, it's nothing to write home
whack.
about. It's not
Midgard.
not even if you in jail is it anything to write home about, bro.
And here's
You
what
know
I'll
what I'm
say.
saying?
Here's what I'll
Behind
say
the
before
wall.
we get to what the last topic of the
You
night.
know what I mean?
I don't like this is because Cardi. I love Cardi, the personality, but Cardi just showed us the people that she's not hip hop. She's more of a pop idol than hip hop, and she's trying to weaponize her fans who might not know who a Bia is in this situation. Because based on that, like, you got disses and you diss artists too, even though you don't write your raps, you're dissing rappers. But now because you're taking advantage of the fact that nobody knows in the Cardi B space who a Bia is like that, using your fans or using people's ignorance as a means of discrediting your competitor, it's kind of corny, and you gotta lose your hip hop stripe. Like, she's disqualified in my opinion. She falls into rap. Maybe she was always there and I just didn't care. But like that move right there just showed me, like, yeah, you're a rapper, you're not hip hop. So I don't know if y'all got anything else to say on the matter, but before we get out of here, our last topic of the night, we got a couple super chats to read as well. I just wanted to quickly touch on Summer Jam. I want to say this off the rip. This was the worst Summer Jam lineup in history.
Ever.
But more specifically, if you look at the lineup and you look at some of the names, you have 41 in there, 41. I think Doja Cat was the headliner. You had Offset was there as well. You had a very young, leaning audience or lineup for the audience, right? So why in God's name did you put Method Man and Redman in the situation to fail? I almost had a stroke. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. I felt like they got set up to fail. Why would you put those guys? Not even a person who's somewhere in the middle who could lean between both crowds. Like, you were probably better off getting Dipset for Summer Jam as opposed to Method Man and Redman. To say the rap style, I feel like they were sabotaging. I know Method Man spoke to that. Like, do you agree that, like, Summer Jam is one, toast, and two, they set those guys up to fail?
Summer Jam is definitely toast. The lineup just keeps getting not just worse, but also shorter. And like with a big name concert or festival like that, I feel like it should be big enough to where there's multiple stages. You know what I mean, or at least two stages, and there should be a stage dedicated for the young headliners. You know what I mean, the artists of the moment, of the present, and then if you want to have, like, you know what I mean, the classics, the old school artists, you know what I mean, have them on a separate stage and have a separate bill for that. But to put I'll even shoot them this much bail. If you want to really mix and match it, like, have it be like, 60-40. You know what I mean? But when it's like all new age artists, all more modern artists, and then you just throw Redman and Method Man, you got the ratio being like 5-1, 6-1. You got, like, that's gonna look crazy. You know what I mean? You're gonna have like this completely youthful energy. They're gonna come expecting a certain sound, expecting a certain vibe, and then Method Man and Redman come out and they do their thing for somebody like me or somebody like us. But for them, it's not gonna hit. It's absolutely not gonna hit. Like, the planning was terrible. It's just another L for Summer Jam. I think it's time to wrap it up, man. Next year, 2025, they got to retire this shit, man. They do, because every year it keeps getting worse.
Yes, Miss LB. Maybe not nationwide, but in New York City, if Dipset come outside, people will care. It is what it is. It's tried and proven. Mesito, what you got to say about that, man?
And to add on to what you're saying to Miss LB, it's a younger demographic follows them. They've kept their music brand active for a lot longer. Method Man is an actor to most nowadays. I'm gonna be honest. To the crowd that went there, they was like, "Oh, that's the guy from Power." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you because these are early 20s. Like I used to be a Summer Jam. Oh, it's the summer. We getting our Summer Jam tickets. 10, damn near 15 years ago. If I went, when 50 Cent and them niggas was performing and they said, "Hey, we got Busy B battling KRS-One," we'd have been like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" It's a generational gap, bro.
Thing. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's two people who have it. It's not Fat Joe who's always doing interviews and got, maybe a couple hits within the last 5 or 6 years. Method Man and Redman they're classic acts at this point. So they were setting themselves up for complete failure. Hot 97 seemingly always asleep at the wheel, if you want to be honest with you, when it comes to things like this about, generational gaps and generational divides. I don't know what they was thinking here. I feel like Rosenberg or Ebro said, "I love these guys. Let's get these guys a check." You know what I mean? And that's what happened. Like, this was Hip Hop 50 was last year, bro.
Yep.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? That's when you would have gotten that crowd, that type of those type of people that wanted to see that out there. You know what I mean? Hot 97 can do their young Summer Jam. They could do Doja Cat and 41 and Chef G and the people that, none of us listen to their music like that unless it pop on by mistake on the shuffle. You could do that, and then you can do the Method Man, Redman concert. You bring the Lots out. You bring 50 and them out. Like, you could get a whole nother bag if you did that every year.
And
Hot
that's what I'll jump in and just say this. We're gonna kill Hot 97 for putting this lineup together, but fair is fair. Method Man and Redman also said yes. Y'all didn't look at that lineup and figure out, hey, maybe we don't belong here. There was no recognizable names from your time. Not even any like
check is a check.
Well, then don't complain on the socials then. Shit me.
That's the point.
That's the point. Yeah.
Let's get to these quick super so we can get up out of here. We had G with a $5 holla. Much love, G. No words. He just shared 5. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it, G.
He followed up with another 5 saying Marshall is still trash. I thought he couldn't get worse, and I was wrong. Oof. Rafael Rodriguez said, I keep giving Em a chance, and they keep disappointing me. Nobody asked for this Houdini record. Straight whack, garbage.
The Mountain Dew drinkers asked for it, Raphael. You know me.
There you go. Come on, there you go.
I am Aboriginal. 3D eaters.
You feel me?
Yep. The people, when you go on the internet and you see like the two glazed donuts on the burger with the bacon on it, it be them. They asked for that.
Straight skull and crossbone t-shirts.
Come on now. I am Aboriginal with a super chat says, nah, he not top 10, bro. No substance. All right. We talked about that earlier. Mike H with a super chat just for the love. Much appreciated, Mike H. And last but not least, we had I am Aboriginal. Eminem equals cannabis.
Oof.
Tough.
I understand where you're coming from.
Tough crowd, guys. But anyway, this has been Monday Night Raw.
Just cannabis with a Dr. Dre backing?
Yeah.
Instead of Wyclef.
And on that note, this is the first time the four of us have been together in about 3 weeks. Drop through a table.
Me with the body slam, and him with the elbow drop off the top.
Jesus Christ. Macito, you know what I mean? Fantastic fullback there for the first time in 3 weeks. Take us home, man.
Hey, man. Deanie, I thought you was going to pull back up, but I understand you got things to do. You know what I mean? That's the balance. That's sincere the rap snob, super producer, you know what I mean? In somebody's credits near you very soon, you know what I mean? That's Job the point guard, the master, you heard? And I'm Macito. It feels good to be back with a rap roundtable. We the Incredible, the Fantastic Four, and we out of here.
Yes, sir. New York Bias 3 on the way. Yes, listening session with I Am God on the way. Make sure y'all lock in. Peace.